Hello everyone, this is Venom back with another leveling guide for your skills for Starfield. Today we are checking out the physical skills. Alright, getting right into it, we have got boxing. The challenge for leveling up boxing is killing enemies with unarmed attacks, that is, killing them with your fist. This one is fairly easy, although a bit time consuming because you have to find the enemies, but it's as simple as just killing the enemies with your fist. There's no real two ways about it. There's no real quick way to level this one, unless you say find a world with a bunch of low level creatures on them that you can attack. And then, of course, you're going to have to actually chase them down. Typically, it's going to be easier to just go to random outposts with humans on it, at low level outposts, and then beat them with your fist. So that's going to be the best way to handle that one. And of course, the bigger the outposts, the better, because they're going to have more enemies there. Next up, we've got fitness. This one is simple. Use up all your oxygen. The first set is 20 times and 50 then 100. All you've got to do is just run until you are out of oxygen. Or, if you want to do it a little bit quicker, even though running only takes a few seconds to get rid of all your oxygen, you could just really overweigh yourself. And the more overweight you are, the quicker you use up your oxygen. So if you want to do that, and also, that will also help you level up the weightlifting perk. You can do that as well, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, just use up all your oxygen 20 times, then 50, then 100 times. This one is going to take a bit of time to do, but again, fairly easy. You can really do this one before you even leave the forest area, assuming you have enough skill points to do so. Next up, we've got stealth, and for this one, I would recommend going to Jemison, flying to the North Pole, hopping on top of your ship with a rifle, just crouching down, and then taking out the creatures that are around there. As long as you hit them in stealth, you are good to go. That includes automatic weapons, whatever you've got. Hitting the enemies in stealth will work, and if you're using this trick, you will also be able to loot those bodies and increase your zoology skill as well. But for this one, like I said, just take out packs of enemies while in stealth. Again, that's just crouch down. I flew on top of my ship, or if you want to build an outpost or something you can stand on, that works too. You don't even have to technically do that. Just go to the North Pole, crouch down, and just take out weapons, or take out the enemies there. Now, I say use Jemison and use the North Pole because I have a base there, and I happen to know there are a lot of creatures there. So keep that in mind. You also don't have to kill the enemies either, you just have to literally hit them, so you can get more than 1 point for each sneak attack. So again, stealth, take out a bunch of creatures on the North Pole in Jemison. Weightlifting, another easy one you can do before you leave your first area. This one is just load yourself up to at least 75% of your maximum load capacity, that is your carrying capacity, and sprint. For the challenges, it's 1,000, 2,500, and then 5,000 meters you have to sprint to level up each one. So again, pretty easy one to level up. Next up, we've got the wellness perk. This is another one you level it up the exact same way you do medicine. It's just healing 200, 500, and then 1,000 damage. Just find yourself a low-level enemy, stand in front of them, let them attack you, heal up, rinse and repeat until you max out your skill. Next, we've got energy weapon dissipation. For this one, it involves you just taking energy damage, and that's pretty much it. Taking 150, 350, and 750 points of energy damage is what's going to increase the rank of this one. I would suggest leveling this one up along with wellness and medicine if you're leveling them up as well. Just find yourself an enemy who is using a energy weapon type, take out the other enemies around him, and then let him damage you with the energy weapon. So again, energy weapon dissipation. Next up, we've got environmental conditioning. Now this one is also very simple. It's just taking so much environmental damage. Your best bet is to go to a very hazardous planet, pretty much just stand there, go AFK, and then come back. Or you can just stand there, take the damage, do something else, watch a movie. Once you've taken enough damage, put another point in, make sure you're healed up, and then start the process over again. So again, that's environmental conditioning. It's another one that could go quick, could go... This is one I definitely do passively. This is not one I would actively try to worry about because honestly, the bonuses are not really worth it for it. But if you want to get it, this is one I'd probably knock out passively. Next up, we've got gymnastics, and this is one that's going to have a couple different challenges. The first is going to be taking 100 fall damage. After that, the challenge changes to taking out enemies in 0G. Now, the way that I've heard to do this one and the way that I've tested out is to go out and find enemy starships. You're going to take out their grab drive, then you're going to take out their engines, and then board. Now, the area should be in 0G if you take out the grab drive. Just make sure it's not repaired before you board. So that's probably going to be your best way to do it. There are a few other ways to do it, but they involve specific things that are a little bit spoilery, so I'm not going to go into that. But I would just go ahead and take out enemy ships, take out the grab drive, that's important, and then take out the engines and board them. Next up, we've got nutrition, and this one's fairly simple. Can send 10 food or drinks. You're going to find food and drinks all over the place. I would combine this one with gastronomy, but go ahead and knock this one out. Just find food all over the place or craft your own food. It's going to go 10, 30, and then 75, so you're going to be stuffing yourself like you do in Skyrim, but this is another one that's pretty easy. Next up, we've got pain tolerance, and just like the energy weapon dissipation, just find an enemy doing physical damage, stand there, and let them damage you. This one's going to take 250, 500, and then 1,000 points of physical damage to level it up. So again, this one is pain tolerance. Next up is cellular regeneration, and this one's pretty simple. It's just recovering from injuries. I would suggest going to a hazardous planet, letting yourself get injured, and then going about your day until you get recovered. This is another one you're going to want to do passively. There's no real reason to rush this one. So go ahead and let yourself get injured and recover, and then let it go passively. So that's cellular regeneration. Next up is decontamination, and just like cellular regeneration, you're going to want to recover from infections from this one. It goes 5, 10, and 30 infections. This is another one you're not going to want to rush, because there's really no point to do so, even if you even want to put points in this one. But if you do, just get yourself infected and let it heal naturally, and you'll be good to go. Next up, we've got martial arts, which will be a continuation on the boxing skill. This is one where you're going to be doing different challenges, starting at 250 damage with unarmed attacks, then disarming enemies using unarmed attacks on level 2 and 3. And the reason it changes is because the first point you get from martial arts is going to have a chance to disarm whoever it is you're attacking. So, again, this is going to be a fairly time-consuming one. You're going to have to find yourself a lot of enemies, but this one could be pretty cool if you want to do an all melee build, or if you get stripped of your weapon. So again, this one's mainly going to be disarming enemies using your melee skill. Next up, we have concealment, and all credit goes to YouTuber Chadley, who I will leave a link to their channel in the description below. For this one, you have to perform melee and unarmed sneak attacks, which is a pain in the ass to do. However, Charlie discovered that you can actually sneak up on and attack the Doctor in New Jemison, the starting planet. You do that, he will recover, you do not get a bounty, you can basically use him as a target dummy. So you can take out that Doctor, he will recover, attack him again, and you can use him as a training dummy. Next up, we've got Neuro Strikes, and this is another one you're probably going to be doing along with martial arts, loading them at the same time, and it's going to be stunning enemies with unarmed attacks. Very simple, just attack an enemy with no weapon equipped using your fists, stun them, and that's going to count towards a challenge here. Again, you only got a 10% chance to stun them, but when you're fighting a lot, it's going to go pretty quickly. So, level this one up alongside martial arts, you should be good to go. Finally, we have Rejuvenation. This is another one you're going to want to level up alongside Medicine. It involves you falling below 25% health and then fully healing yourself. So this is one I would level up along with Medicine. Let your health get really low, down below 25%, fully heal, and then rinse and repeat. So again, that's Rejuvenation. Alright, that's going to do it for all of these physical skills, guys. If anyone has any quicker ways to level up any of the skills I've listed today, please let me know down in the comments. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed what you saw, or dislike it if you hated it, whichever one you want to do. That's going to do it for us today, and I will see you guys later.